Hello, this is Noga Halman, creator of Upside Down Parenting, where your parenting challenges meet personal transformation. You are watching Monday Takeaway, and today I'm responding to Rose's question. Here it comes. Dear Noga, one of the most pressuring issues for me is having feelings of guilt as a mother. And I would like to know, what is the parenting approach that will help me be a better mother, while at the same time making peace with my mistakes? Sincerely, Rose. Rose, thank you for your question. It seems like we're all schlepping around loads of mothering guilt. Whether you're a working mom who has to send a 3-month-old baby to daycare, or you're a stay-at-home mom of more independent children, you know, if one out of my 7 children had a bad day because of some slip with me, it often colors my day black, no matter how good I was with the other kids. In fact, mothers often make a connection between their guilt and bad parenting. Makes it really, really hard to be present at home, especially when you feel guilty all the time. If Frank Sinatra wanted to add another part to his song, it would go like, mothering and guilt, guilt and mothering, they go together like
a horse and carriage.
So I have some tips for you today, Rose, and here's my first tip. It is choose responsibility. When you have guilt over something that you did or didn't do, that you think you should have done differently, then what happens is you feel like it's a dead end, like there's no hope, and like your son maybe or your daughter would have been better off with a different mother. And what I suggest is, instead of choosing dead end, choose responsibility. Say, wait a second, this guilty feeling shows me that I would have wanted to respond differently or to do something differently in this situation, and I have the choice in a similar situation in the future, tomorrow or whenever that may be, to do it differently. This is how you take responsibility for your own transformation in that situation. And for sure your kids will be happy to have that kind of mother. They're not looking for perfection. If it helps, then you can think about it like a GPS. You know that sometimes even the best GPS can tell you to make a wrong turn, and you end up in some forsaken village when you were planning to go into New York City. So what does the GPS do at that point? It doesn't quit. Instead, it says recalculating route. And this is what we should do as mothers. We made a mistake. Okay, guilt, reminder. Now recalculating route. What are we going to do differently next time so that we can feel better about our parenting, and so that our kid can get better service from us? That was my first tip. Now let's take a look at the difference between saying I did something wrong today to my kids and saying, oh, I'm such a bad mother. That's exactly the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is identifying the thing that we should have done differently, maybe. And shame is already taking it upon ourselves and saying, oh, that's a sign that I am such a bad mother. It turns into part of our identity. So my second tip for you today is to say hello to guilt. We don't have a choice. Guilt seems to be part of our life. So at least we should greet it and get to know it, and also make it smaller than the full-blown guilt that we sometimes feel. So I'm going to give you a technique that I use often in order to make guilt smaller and my own presence bigger. This is a focusing technique that I learned from Ann Weiser-Cornell of focusingresources.com. I recommend checking her website. And it goes like this. When I feel guilty, my instinct is to say, I feel guilty. But that turns into my identity. So instead, I learned from Ann Weiser-Cornell to say, something in me feels guilty. And even better, I sense that something in me feels guilty. Now I add to that, and I say hello to that something. The next thing I do is I look at that something and I say, no wonder you feel guilty. Now try that, and you'll see how all of a sudden your presence becomes so much bigger, while that guilt becomes a little anecdote, a little thing that doesn't define you at the moment. That is my second tip. Now, Rose, I love that you ask about what is the parenting approach that will help you feel like you are a better mother, while also helping you make peace with your mistakes. So this is a great question, because asking about how to be a better mother shows me that you know that you're already a good mother. So anything you do on top of what you're already doing will only make you better, but you're good enough to start with. And please always remember that starting point. It makes a very, very big difference. And the approach that will help you grow into becoming the best parent that you can be and the ideal parent that you want to be is upside down parenting. The upside down parenting approach respects your journey, respects your authority with your own children, your expertise in your own children. You are the #1 expert. It respects your ups and downs, and also it distinguishes between who you are and who you're not. All of our deeds and our actions are not really who we are. What you are inside of you is an abundance of joy and happiness and creativity and compassion and love, all the good things that you want to be and that you want to give your children. And upside down parenting always celebrates that while handling also the other things, but reminding you who you really are in the process. And that makes you feel like a better mother, it makes you a better mother, and it definitely helps you forgive yourself for your mistakes. This was my answer, Rose, to your question, and I hope it makes you already feel like such a great mother. And now I invite you to tell me, what mental or physical shift did you feel when you did this mental exercise that I introduced in this episode? And what's your tip for pulling yourself out of your own guilt? Add your positive vibes directly into the comment section on the blog, and don't miss out on any of our parenting videos. They're practical, they're empowering, they're about personal transformation through parenting challenges. So subscribe to our mailing list on UpsideDownParenting.com. It's free. Thank you for watching, and until next time, get curious about the parenting challenges that come your way, because they are your custom-made opportunities for being yourself inside and out as a parent and beyond.